Okay, hi, it's Lynn again, and next video in our series, our website, www.thebestyouever.com. That's TheBestYouever. And today's topic, we're going to approach the topic of toxicity. Now, toxicity is kind of a hard topic to approach, because when you find out that somebody is toxic or something is toxic, it's usually not a person or situation that is distant, something that you could probably do without, we're just fine, we don't need it, everything's okay. It's usually something that's very close to you. It's a friend that's in a very inner part of you, integral part of you, someone that you may even talk to every day, someone that's in your inner circle, or a family member that you've come to depend on. A lover or significant other. It's very, very hard to talk about toxicity because people often don't want to let go of something toxic to them. And one of the main reasons why is because they love them, or they love the situation, or they are convinced that they need the situation, or they haven't identified it as toxic yet. It doesn't seem toxic. It's like pleasure and pain at the same time, and they can't identify it as toxic. That's where it becomes dangerous. One personal story, one of many personal stories that I will tell you. Most often you will see me tell either a personal story or a story of a friend. I don't tell any stories of any friends without their permission. And any of my friends that may hear a story that might sound like you, please keep in mind that I have a lot of friends. And unfortunately, history often repeats itself. Nothing that has happened in the world has happened for the first time. At some point in time, it has happened before. So this one personal is going to be my personal story. Is that I live in Las Vegas now. But I used to live in Detroit, Michigan. And I had a slew of friends. And I had a really good job. And I owned a home. And husband, kids, everything. And the bottom pretty much fell out of my life. The way that the bottom fell out of my life was that the friends that I thought were my friends were not. My husband and I were going through a very, very rough patch in time. Very, very rough patch. Various things going on with my children. It was just a time where it was like my darkest hour. And at that time I had to sit back and identify the things that were not good for me. There came an opening where I was able to say, hey, if you didn't have anything to lose right now, what would you do? And the answer came back that I needed to move to a warmer climate. And I really needed a fresh start. I needed to start over because all of the people that I had come to depend on really let me down. And I won't say all of them, but I will say many of them that I had come to depend on had really let me down. I had come to find out that there were many toxic situations around me where I thought that people were my friends and they were not. I had people that rejoiced in my calamity. And I had people that were definite, had a direct hand in my calamity. If their actions could make a bad matter better or a bad matter worse, it made a bad matter worse. The entire situation turned toxic to me. I was unhappy in my house. I was unhappy in my marriage. I was very unhappy in my job. My job just stopped. I tried to go for promotions many times, only to find the people that I had come in under me. People had come in under me, and I trained them. They were promoted over me many times, not just once, many times. So I figured out that either I was just stuck in this situation, I didn't have what it takes to be promoted, or that I was being used to groom everybody else. So as a result, I became very unhappy with my job because I was in the same job for 11 and a half years and I wasn't going anywhere. It's just never going anywhere. Same job for 11 years and I wasn't going anywhere. And since I spout so much about constantly evolving and constantly being in a state of change and evolution, you can imagine how stymied I felt. Just same job over and over, nothing, never growing. That they were taking my suggestions. I was on different panels of software and how do we make things better, but I never went anywhere. So I knew that I had to get up and I had to go. I had to leave and I had to start a new life. I had to start a new life. I was unhappy in every aspect of my life. And mostly it was because the job was toxic. I was not going anywhere. The friends were toxic. They weren't really my friends. I was upside down in my mortgage. We all know that story. The marriage. We won't even talk about that right now. That's another video. But I had to identify these toxic things, and it was hard because everything that turned out to be toxic was close to me. This is one thing where we tend to sell ourselves short. We will stay in a bad situation and stay and stay and stay in a bad situation because we are afraid to move. We are paralyzed with fear. What if I let this go and I lose everything I have? What if I can't get back on my feet? What if I can't find anybody else to love me anymore? What if I leave this place and I can't find anybody anywhere to live and I'm homeless? What if I leave my job and I can't find another one? Okay, well, I'm not telling you drop everything and run away. I did. I had to. I dropped everything. I ran. I ran 2,000 miles away from everything that was toxic to me. I have never been happier. I am not making $1 billion. I'm not driving a Rolls Royce. But I am at peace. I'm out here with the sunshine. I'm making new friends. I'm blazing new trails. I roll over in the morning in my pajamas. I hit the keyboard. I'm at work. It's fabulous. I love it. I went out and I said I wanted to start my own business. So that's what I did. I said before I left Michigan, I'm going out here to Nevada to start my own business. So that's what I did. I came out here to Nevada and I started my own business. And ever since I've been here, my company has been what's been paying my bills. I'm doing great. Now I want to do more. I'm going to go further. I'm going to do more. I'm going to build on what I have. But I'm building through my company, through me, through what I have. So the toxic job, gone. All of the people that I was talking to that turned out to be people that were just listening to my calamity and then taking it back and using it as folly and hosting parties at my expense. I really love that one. I've been kind of quiet about it, but I had a friend that actually hosted a party where I was not only the topic of discussion, but I was the object of the ridicule. So I never said anything to them about it. If they watch this, they may know who I'm speaking about, but at this point in time, it's one of those small things that are just part of my past. It's not one of those things that, I have to say all of this about, but this is the kind of thing I was dealing with. These were my friends. I have very few friends now that I used to talk to back then that I still talk to now. So they know who they are. Those people that are valuable in my life, they know who they are. But if I had 100 friends, out of the 100, I have 5. Out of the original 100, I have 5. And that's just, I don't know if that's an actual number, but it is correctly proportionate. I did have that many friends, and I did leave that many friends alone. My house was not a home. I was very unhappy in my home. So now I just got up packed my truck, left everything, because the entire situation was toxic, and toxicity kills you. I am 100% certain that had I stayed, I would have been dead by now. The stress would have killed me, or I would have killed myself. There's no telling. You don't know what those kind of things can do to you. You don't know where it can drive you. So there's just no telling what would have happened had I stayed in that toxic situation. One of the very first things you want to do on your road to evolution, on your journey, is identify toxicity. It's not going to be easy to do. The things that are toxic that you have already identified, or you think you have already identified, they will jump out at you first. It will be, okay, I hate my job. This city is just not the best place for me. I'm overweight and I really need to go on a diet and do better for myself. These things are very easy to jump out at you. Once I got here, a little while after I got here, I used to be a smoker and I quit smoking. I gained 40 pounds. As you can see, I'm already a big girl. Okay? There's no secret. I'm sure you can see by the really big arms and the really big head that I'm already a big girl. But then on top of that, I gained 40 pounds. So luckily for me, I realized, number one, that the cigarettes were toxic. They were going to kill me. Now that's physically toxic. So I had to let them go. That was a year ago, and I gained 40 pounds very quickly. I immediately saw the problem, and I immediately changed my eating habits. And upon immediately changing my eating habits, I lost the 40 pounds that I gained. That's the good news. So if I was already a big girl and then I had to lose the 40 pounds that I gained, I lost a few more pounds as well. But then I had to identify another toxicity that, although I've been a big girl my whole life, that I really need to continue with the eating right and the exercise and getting down a little more, because even though I'm comfortable in my skin, I do not mind being a big girl at all. Even though I'm comfortable in my skin, my high blood pressure is not comfortable in my skin. Neither is diabetes or the threat of diabetes. I'm not a diabetic. But the threat of diabetes and the threat of heart disease. So I had to identify those things as contributing to my toxicity. As, okay, I'm fine being a big girl, but now it's time for me to say, your health has kind of suffered. You really need to identify that thing that's causing you that problem. But as you can see, toxicity can be something that's toxic to your health, to your mental health, definitely, to your finances, mental well-being, your situation, standing in life, anything. It can be toxic to anything. You can have friends and family who are toxic to your progress, because anything that you try to do, they pull you down. Imagine what had happened. I was the last one left in Detroit, for the most part, in my immediate family. Imagine what would have happened if I had family in Detroit. And I went to my family and I told my family, I'm a pickup, I'm leaving my house, I'm leaving my job, I'm leaving my friends, I'm leaving everything I know, and I'm going across the country to Las Vegas. Imagine what they would have said to me if I had told them, you're doing what? I can only imagine. I got up, I left, and I told them once I got here. And they were all so happy that I was here. Oh, it's so fabulous. We're so glad you're out of Detroit. But I'm not so sure they would have said that before I left. I think it would have been a different story. So you have to identify those things that are toxic to you. You have to identify those friends and those family members that are like crabs in a barrel holding you down. People that smile in your face and talk behind your back. You have to identify those things that are toxic to you, and you have to let them go. It can be, like me, food. I didn't get this way being shy. I need to watch what I eat and come down some more. And it's going to take a long time, which is why I say I'm constantly in a state of evolution. I'm constantly learning. But I'm still on that road, and I'm going to be on that road, and I don't have a problem with it. many things can be toxic to you. Things that you didn't know could be toxic to you can be toxic to you. You want to make sure you identify those things and get those things out of your life. This will not be the last conversation we have about toxicity. I have many conversations I can have about toxicity, and I am always open to your questions. You can contact me at Lynn Mitchell at thebestyouever.com. And make sure you get on over to that website, because like I said, we're just getting started, but it's really going to be booming very soon. I'm going to have a whole lot of resources on there for you to help you out in everyday life. We need to make it down here. We need to be able to live here on earth. We need to be able to function here. We need real talk to be able to help us function day to day right here where we are. And I don't have any problem giving it to you. So make sure you go on over and check out my site, www.thebestyouever.com. That's THEBESTYOUEVER.com. You can send me an email, comments, suggestions, whatever, at Lynn Mitchell. That's S like Sam. Lynn, LYNN, Mitchell, MITCHELL.com. And I thank you very much for once again showing up with me, sitting here with me, listening to me babble, and allowing me to be a part of your journey. And I hope to talk to you really soon.